Hello, guys, and thanks for tuning in for BrickWall Anime tonight. I'm Sam Malone. No, but anyway, how's everybody doing tonight on this wonderful Tuesday? Um, so cut right to the chase. Remember to subscribe, like, share, tune in, of course. That should have been primary. Tune in. But anyway, like, subscribe, share, subscribe. Thank you for those who have subscribed. Thank you for those who have been viewing. Thank you for those who have given suggestions as for this suggestion tonight. But thank you all for your participation with us. Yes. Oh. Checking with technical difficulties. Okay. Oh yeah, get the shirt right. Yeah. So anyway, there we have it. But thanks technical difficulties, guy.
You're welcome.
I'll put you on the payroll. But anyway, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Remember to stay safe, to wear the mask. It is flu season as well as the ongoing pandemic with corona. So please remember to be safe, wash your hands. What's the word? Immune system, yes. Boost your immune system. Vitamin C, people, vitamin C. And as I've always said as well, you can drink ginger tea with lemon in it. Just spruce it up a little. Look at some different things you can do to boost your immune system and keep you healthy during this time. Also, elderberry syrup is also great with boosting the immune system. But anyway, tonight's anime is none other than Food Wars. The crowd goes wild. The crowd goes wild. It's Food Wars. Literally. And when I say wild, I'm talking about good girls going wild kind of wild. For Food Wars. Yes, Food Wars. It can be found on Netflix, at least the first 2 seasons anyway. There are a total of 5 seasons of Food Wars. And it is found, can't remember, I think on Crunchyroll, I can't remember, but it just aired on Adult Swim as well. Hold on. But anyway, yeah, so that's what we have going on now is Food Wars. So, Food Wars, oh, sorry. Anyway, Food Wars is teenager Soma. He aspires to become a full-time chef in his father's family restaurant and surpasses his father's culinary skills. But his father gets a new job that requires him to travel around the world and close his shop. His father enrolled Soma into a culinary institute. And this culinary institute is not an ordinary, it's an elite culinary school where individuals engage in food competitions. Learning that his father was not only a student at the same institute that he went to, but he was also the second seat in the Council of 10. Soma plans on becoming the best at the academy. Okay, so yes, Soma, he is a teenager, middle school, 15. So he's a teenager working his father's restaurant, as I've read, and he's aspiring to become the greatest chef. While he thought he was a great chef, he found out that there's a lot of learning that he still has to do. So in order to even get into the school, you have to cook a dish. So in order, you have to cook a dish with one main ingredient. The main ingredient for that one was eggs. So the person who practically scored him enjoyed his food, but because of Soma's attitude and his cockiness, she didn't want him into the school. But her grandfather is the head. He's over the whole school. He's the head. He's a head person in charge or whatever over the whole school. So he ends up going into the kitchen after they have left, and she's told him, "Oh, you didn't make it in, to go home." And he tastes his cooking. He's like, So he ends up bringing him back to the school. He's the only person transfer to end up going and getting into the school for that particular semester. So when he gets to the school, he's so cocky. He's like, "Yeah, it's me. I didn't think I was going to be here, but you know what? I'm here, and be prepared to lose. I'm coming in as number one." What? What? And the whole school was like, "What? Oh, hell nah." They throwing stuff at him. They're like, "Bro, you just doing the most," which he was. But that's his cocky nature, because it's always been him and his father. And his father has been his greatest competition. And he always thought that, if I could beat my father, then I'm the best chef around. Nobody else compares. So he ultimately, like I said, he joins the school, and he, of course, picks up a couple of friends, and they engage in food wars. So the whole point of the food war is a challenge. So let's just say, like, instead of fighting it out, they food war it out. And the whole thing with this anime, it is so explicit. I mean, with details on the food, on what's being cooked, how it's being cooked, seasoning, spices. You know what? I want to be a chef anyway, because I'm highly considering that. But this anime really makes me want to become a chef. Like, I am enjoying this anime so much, just learning about, of course, it's Japanese culture, and then as well as some Italian cultures mixed in. And then they did a little bit of Western culture as well. So just finding out how the flavor combinations go together. And then when the judges and when the students, when they eat each other's food, they go into a food sensational type of orgasm to where they have they get naked. Their fantasies become naked, or whatever the case may be. And it is just so funny. And it's like, hold on. Like I said, anybody who watches anime know the extent of the Japanese culture when it accentuates, body parts. So just imagine that times about 100 on this particular anime. You also have one student who someone found out is the number 7 chair. So as soon as he found out, he's like, bruh, I'm taking your seat. You number 7, all right, number 7's fine. So he wants to take number 7's seat when he finds out he's number 7, but he actually don't care what seat he gets. He's got to have a seat on the council. Why? Because his father told him that before he left. This was before he found out that his father was actually a member of the 10. And then he also found out that he's staying in the same dorm room that his father stayed in when he was in that particular culinary school. So his father pretty much was like, bruh, I got a job to do, and so I'm closing the shop down. Okay, so the first pretty much scene of this, where you catch a glimpse of the type of anime this is going to be, is when somebody wanted to buy out the shop. And someone was like, no, you're not buying out the shop. We're not closing the shop. If I could make you a dish, or until the customer is not satisfied, then the shop is not going to close. So this person takes it upon themselves to destroy the shop. So someone comes to the shop the next day and finds it totally vandalized. And the person who did it is pretty much like, hey, can you make me a dish? Ooh, make me a dish. I want a meat dish. And the person's like, oh, so if you can't make the dish, then I guess you close. And someone's like, nah, bro, I got you. So what he did was he made the lady the dish. And at first she wanted to deny how well it was, but she could not hide her feelings towards the dish. He even made her beg for more of the dish. That's just how bad it was, and she begged. Yeah, so this anime, of course, like I said, there's some areas where they have some bad cooking or whatever, but for the most part, these are well-trained, talented teenagers who are on their quest or whatever for, culinary excellence. And so during the food wars, they're actually having a food war competition, and the outcome of that is supposed to be that the person receives a seat on the 10. So Soma, he's pretty much interacted with what I would consider chefs who may not be as superior as him, who lack confidence, who are more superior than him, who have different backgrounds. So he's actually picking up different techniques, styles. What else? What's the word? Techniques, styles, just different things from each person that he encounters. This person who did spices, like Soma, he didn't know anything like about spices to the degree that this person knew it. So he picked up and learned that kind of stuff. And a lot of the techniques that Soma did, of course, they have names for them. And so some of the judges are like, this is Italian excellence. Only this person never done this before. And Soma does it because his father trained him. His father trained him to cook. He just didn't tell him what the techniques were called. So I found that interesting as well, that this whole time Soma is cooking and doesn't know that he's actually exhibiting this type of culinary excellence. All he knows is that he has lost to his father in food wars for about 480, now 490 times, and he didn't know what exactly was going on. And so his father ends up coming to visit him and challenges him in a food war. And of course, Soma loses, but Soma picks up valuable lessons while he's there with his father. And so he pretty much takes that and incorporates it. And so he's pretty much in competition with a lot of the kids at the school. Of course, the granddad's granddaughter, the one who judges food to begin with, she is pretty much his nemesis. Well, she wants to be. He pretty much wants to be friends, but it's still competition. But she cannot stand him. Like I said, because of his cockiness, and it is funny. But I mean, when you feel that you're good at something, of course you're gonna be cocky with it. Like, who isn't? But anyway, so the Soma, he pretty much picks up like a best friend at the school, and she is, like I said, she's a little oh, sorry, but she's a little timid and shy, so she's been leaning a lot on Soma. And so what causes her not to lean on him anymore is that they went to this training camp, and if you get kicked out of training camp, you pretty much kicked out of school. And so she's been to that point before, so she was so timid and scared, she created a dish, and a person did or tried to, and someone was like, no, you're not doing that. I challenge you to a food war. So he challenged a graduate of the institute to a food war. And so they was like, all right, we'll do it. So anyway, the girl ends up losing to the graduate because the graduate is experienced and is highly talented, highly skilled, but she lost, but then it ended up tying out because of the votes, of course, and because the head person in charge was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna give her one because I understood why she cooked like this and why she cooked like this, how she cooked like this. And this is some, and also to the guy who she lost to, you can learn a lot from her. This is why you're at a standstill in your career now, because of the way you cook and the way that you go about doing things. Like, you don't take criticism, you don't listen to people. You have to listen to people in order to know what the people want. So he pretty much stuck it to him, and so ended up being a tie. Now Soma, he's a pretty much happy, easygoing person. We really don't see how upset he gets, or because he's always in positive spirits. But this time, and I'm glad they did this, they actually showed him getting mad. And so they pretty much had to go like underground to do the food war because they weren't supposed to do it anyway. But once you call a food war, it's a food war. So they go underground, do the food war, and Soma, when they come out after, because he know they lost. Like, the whole deal was that if she lost, both of them would get kicked out of school. So they, like I said, they ended up tying out, and so they came out from underground, and the girls getting all the calls of everybody looking for her. And so someone's like, nah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Everybody's looking for you. I'm cool. Just go do your thing. So he makes sure she's gone. And so he punches the wall. That's the first time that we ever see him upset to that extent. He punched the wall because he lost. And it was funny because prior to him even punching the wall, a couple of them were talking, a couple of the judges were talking, and they was like, well, you just saved 2 lives today. And so you would think that they were talking about the well-known chef and the girl, but no, they're talking about Soma, which I understood because he has a lot of learning to do, because he technically isn't on like the emotional kind of level that a lot of the characters are on with their cooking. So, because like I said, it was just him and his dad. So he was pretty much cocky about a lot of stuff. But the food in this, oh my gosh. I want to try a lot of those dishes. And I'm like, damn, I need to try that. Oh, that sounds good too. The flavor combinations, the types of food, the techniques that they use. I need to gain some knife skills. Yes, I know how to cut stuff, but I mean, I need to gain some knife skills, like chopping and doing all that, doing all that, probably blindfolded and stuff like that, whatever. I need to learn how to do all of that. But yeah, so Soma and his housemates, they all have pretty good character chemistry together. And it's so funny because one character, they always go and trash his room almost every night. And he's like, I'm tired of y'all, I'm always doing this. And so in order to even get into the dorm, someone had to cook a dish. If the dorm director did not approve of the dish, he could not stay there. Crazy, I know. So he gets there, and the dorm director's like, "So what dish you gonna prepare?" He's like, "Cook. I'm hungry now. What you got for me to eat?" And so she was like, That's a part of what you have to do. Those are the conditions of living here. So if you don't have a dish, then yeah, you're not staying here." And he was like, "What? I don't have anything." She was like, "Well, whatever's it, well, I have some leftovers. You can go ahead and eat that." And so he was like, "Well, how about I just use the leftovers to cook my dish?" And he did, and she loved it. Like everybody loves his cooking. I want to say that he hasn't lost. He's come in second place, but he hasn't lost a competition. And so the way he goes about doing things and the way he pretty much, okay, so let's just say how he came about his first food war. So Soma's first food war, he was looking at different clubs, and there was a rice club, and they make rice bowls. So he was like, okay, well, let me go in here. And when he goes in there, he notices that the place is destroyed. The manager or the person in charge is upset, on the floor crying, and to find out that he got challenged to a food war by one of the top cooking people, which would have been the granddaughter, but somebody else opted to go take the place of the granddaughter in the food war. So he did that, and he was like, "Well, how about I just cook for your food war?" So anyway, he of course he ends up winning that, and every time he wins, he's like, "Nah, taste my dish. You gonna see why I won. Taste this." And so here we go into this little array of emotional food frenzy, an emotional food frenzy. That's what we're gonna call it. That these people go into, and so he's just all over the place. And every time somebody eats it, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And it was just so funny because when the granddaughter ate the first dish, it was like he turned into like little bees, and he would turn into like little insects or little just things flying around, bothering, just like, "Oh, come with me, Soma. Oh, I'm Soma. Yes, you like my dish." Like, it is just so crazy. It is just so funny. My favorite parts of this are, of course, the cooking scenes. I love the cooking scenes. I love the competition that they have with each other. And then it's also like breaking a lot of them down. Like a lot of them were so cocky, but Soma, he's pretty laid back. So when they do get into the kind of rival stage, he always jokes about it, and doesn't like let it get too out of hand. And he's like, "Don't worry, I got this." Like, he's not a worrisome person, and so he is just one of the best people. And also another thing is that Soma's father has a connection with the granddaughter that is his rival. Yes, they're connected. And so interesting to find out what that connection is. But anyway, their food wars, they pretty much have to, of course, go against each other and see whose dish is the best at first. Well, that's the second portion. The first portion is that they just have to cook for the judge and see, what's their ranking. And the top ranked student, top four ranked students, this is out of a whole school. Well, it's not out of a whole school, but it's a good portion of the students. So the top four dishes go on to have food wars amongst each other. And so, okay, so with the food war, you can use terms and conditions. So if you lose, you have to shut down your gym, and now I own it. If you lose, I get to take all your equipment. You can't have it no more. So it's just different things like that they use in the food war, and it could be anything. And so, like I said, so he encounters a lot of people, a lot of different techniques, a lot of different skills, a lot of personalities, of course. And so some of the people feel that, their group is a little bit too friendly with each other. They feel that, oh, if you're in competition with each other, you shouldn't be friends. And so they're pretty much breaking barriers. And like I said, they're creating a lot of friendships. And even people who you would not have thought, who is, okay, meet. Like, you wouldn't have thought that she would have joined their group of friends, but she has, because of course she has a crush on Soma. But anyway, outside of that, you wouldn't have thought that she would have been the type of person to join them. But she is, and she's there with them. And so they all, like I said, they all hang out, they all get together, they all cook together. Even in the middle of the night, they're cooking, tasting each other's food, just different types of things. So this anime, it is highly recommended. Um, I have seen where it's been highly recommended several places, this particular anime. And I am glad for the suggested. So thank you to suggestion. So thank you to the person that suggested it. And if you have any more suggestions, let me know because I'll be glad to watch the anime. The first two seasons are released in English. The rest of the, as I mentioned, is 5 seasons, but the rest of the seasons are not in English. So 3 are not. It was first released in 2014, and as mentioned, it can be found on Adult Swim. And it has an 8.2 review, 8.2 out of 10. I can, like I said, I can see why it is a great anime to watch. So think tight, but yeah, um, I was actually looking for an anime related to food for, of course, the month of Thanksgiving. Well, we're gonna say it's the month of Christmas, because but we're gonna celebrate Thanksgiving this month. But anyway, for the month of Thanksgiving, November, food animes, I thought that would be suitable because I mean, who doesn't like a good meal? And who isn't ready for Thanksgiving dinner? I mean, it may be a little different this year, but I'm sure that somebody can get a meal in. I hope you can. um, what don't I like about the anime? Okay, well, I'll say what I might not like is, I is the way they go into the arousal of the food. I'm not like a, I mean, it's cool, but it's like, well, damn. And then what's funny too is like if it's an old person, like they go into the arousal from the old person, but not as in depth as if it's a younger person. And when I say younger person, I'm gonna say a female. Like they do males as well, and that is so funny as well. But of course, with like I said, with Japanese anime, is always the body parts. They like they're big on body parts, and just making those jiggle. So yeah. But anyway, that's not. I'm a little a little whatever about that, but it is what it is, and it's funny or whatever. But let's see. What I like about it is, like I said, the fact that you're actually learning while watching this. You're actually learning different techniques. It puts you into a different mind frame so that you can think outside the box of, let's just say a child is watching. I'm not gonna say a child, because damn. But yeah, let's just say a teenager is watching. It shows you the different level of culinary skills that are out there, and the fact that that you can do this, and the fact that people younger are actually doing this. So I like that, and I like the different techniques that they show in it, and I like the relationships that are formed in it. I like their relationships with each other, with others, and it's not like it's like I said, it's common. It's some bullying, but at the same time, it shows you how you can deal with a bully. I'm sure that there's characters in here that everybody can relate to, whether you're shy, whether you're sensitive, whether you're outgoing, whether you're an emotional person, whether you're just an average Joe or whatever. I'm sure that you can find a character in this particular anime that you can relate to. And what stood out to me? Let me think. Oh, I mean, the food. It's like, damn, can I try that too? And then in one of the scenes, it was like a little lobster. And like he was just sitting there chilling like this. I'm taking me a bath. But you're dead. You're fried. You're bathed. You were sitting there ready to get eaten. So yeah. Um, like I said, 5 seasons. I can't wait to finish watching all of them because I'm just gonna have to suck it up and read. Wah. So I'm gonna have to watch each season probably about 2 more times. So I gotta be like this, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's a lot of work. So that's why I don't like to read the subtitles. But I'm gonna have to suck it up because with the pandemic and stuff, it might take a little longer for it to get in English. But is it worth the read? Yes. I believe that it will be worth it. Well, you can't fall asleep on it. So you're sitting and you got to just sit up and read, because once they're going to get into the Japanese language, and if you don't know Japanese, it's going to be hard to follow along. So you know what, that might not be a bad thing, because you're getting sleepy. You like, what, let me just go ahead and cut this off, because I won't be able to listen. Because you'll fall asleep and listen to the show. But if you don't understand, then you're not gonna fall asleep and listen. You can be like, let me turn this off because I don't understand it. Let me go ahead and put something else on, go to sleep too. Well, it might not be a bad thing to fall asleep to it, because then you'll get to learn the language. It might stick with you. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, so I feel that I'm not giving this show enough credit. Like, I feel that I could be doing a lot more to praise this show. This show is superior. It is wonderful. It is in a top list of my favorite animes. Yes, it is. Yes, yes, yes. I will rewatch this show and rewatch the show. Because like I said, number one, I like to cook and I like to learn different techniques and different styles as well. And so this is there. It does this for me. Character chemistry is awesome. You will fall in love with Soma. And like I said, I'm just glad that they presented like pretty much almost all sides of him. Pretty much all sides. And a lot of time he's a person standing up for others, who's there to uplift others and to get them along their path, to let them know, you can do this. But what's funny though? When Soma and what's the damn girl name? Anyway, Soma and the girl. When they were doing their food war against the graduate student, is that he wanted to cook. He knew that if he cooked, they would have won. But the judge told him that he could not cook. He had to just assist. And so, that kind of pissed him off. But then the judge made a very valid point that if you're always doing this for this person, then when are they going to do for themselves? And if they can't do for themselves, then why are they even here at the school? And that makes a lot of sense, because, somebody's not going to always be there with you. Like, you have to be able to stand your own ground. And so, of course, like I said, they lost. But she stood her own ground. And she created something that was not as well as the other chef, but it had a lot of meaning to it, and it could be tasted through her cooking. No. But so what would I give this anime? I'd give it a 4.6. That's what I would give it. I mean, of course, like I said, with this anime, you always want your favorite character to win all the time. You always want, your favorite character to come out on top. So that's pretty much, anticipated throughout this anime, is that someone's going to come out on top. And like I said, they actually show him coming into the number 2 spot. So that, pretty much, well, they could have put him number 1 or whatever, but, it's glad that he had a sense of defeat. And it doesn't show him always being on top, because if you're always on top, then you're going to think that there's never any room for improvement. And there's always room for improvement. And so this pretty much gave him the sense of, okay, well, I need to do better. I need to step it up. And that's what he needed at that time. And then he lost to the Spice King. So, yeah. He tried to come in number 2 after just learning spices. Like, damn, that boy is good. But he lost to the Spice King. So, anyway, yeah. But it has a lot of life lessons. And I would say let your kids watch it. But no, don't let your kids watch it. I would say this is for probably a teenage audience. I would say that because of the fact that, kids are exposed, teenagers are exposed to a lot. And, they got some nudity. That's what is rated TV. What was it? Blah, 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 blah. TVMA. Yeah, and it's TVMA for nudity. Because it's a lot. I did not like that. They're showing butts. You're going to see butts or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't let like my younger children watch it. I probably wouldn't. I would say teenager or better. It says TVMA, and I think the MA is for 14. I don't know. But I highly recommend this anime. It is a great anime. Anybody who is eating other cuisines, let me know how y'all like it. Authentic authentic, not like I want to see that. I want you to say you traveled and ate it. You know, like how was that when you were in Italy? How was that when you were in Japan? How was that when you were in Spain? Like, let me know if your cuisine delights. Like, I would really like to know how you all, how the food was. How was the food? Like, did you take anything and incorporate it into your own food now? So just let me know. This month we will be doing probably, I don't know. Anyway, I know anime is doing food related animes this month, so I have one more to go to my knowledge. I'm gonna have to check it. I think it's one more. I think it's only one more anime Tuesday this month. But yeah, let me know what you all think. Damn, okay, yeah, that's what I was missing. But anyway, so the father of Soma, he is the number two chair, and one of the judges actually recognized Soma because of the way he carried his backpack and recognized that he was, that was indeed his friend's son. But he didn't notice it until later on. And so now, he has piqued interest in Soma. A lot of people have piqued interest in Soma. And his dad, he pretty much came there and was like, when you able to, don't lose to anybody else until you can beat me, until you lose to me again. So, Soma knows, like that's how they talk to each other. So Soma pretty much knows that his dad wants him to do well and to, do his best and to succeed. And so, like I said, a lot of people have peak interest in Soma and they really want to see where this young talent is going to go, being that he was the only transfer student, and he talked so much cold cash shit at the orientation. I mean, he talked cold cash shit to the whole school. Like, damn, who does that? I mean, that was so funny. I would have been a little timid myself. And then even his interaction with the granddaughter, she was like, I don't know how you got in here, but just like that type of stuff. And like I said, she really don't have a reason to be mad, but of course we have to find a reason for her to be mad. But anyway, BrickWall, if you have any suggestions for BrickWall for this month, let us know and we will take a look at the suggestion and do our best to review it. Any suggestions for anime, let me know. If you have any comments, any thoughts, questions, concerns, any conflicts with what I said, or want to add to what I say, because I am open and I am listening, because I would love the engagement. But just let me know. Remember to be safe out there, guys. Remember, please be safe. The weather is changing, constantly changing. Hot, warm, hot, windy, not windy. Just dress for the season. It might be a little hot in your coat, but it's better than being sick in your coat. They're not gonna be in your coat. It's better than being sick at home. So yeah, just do your best to stay safe out there. Remember, today is voting, or was voting, and we're now anticipating the results. So we shall see how that goes. And may the Lord be with us. but yeah. But anyway, remember to subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the shirt, anime ramen. Bloop. For Food Wars. Woo, 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 woo. Remember, it can be found on Netflix, the first 2 seasons at the least, and I'm sure it's on Crunchyroll. I did not find it on Funimation, which was my first option to go to. But yeah, go ahead and watch that. Check it out. You'll like it. It's very entertaining. And I will see you guys on Tuesday with Dave. Yeah, with Dave. And like I said, just remember to be safe. Wear the damn mask. Wear that hot ass mask. Matter of fact, it's a good thing now because that mask will keep your damn face warm. Yes, I found that out one night. I whipped that thing off and I was like, oh hell no, my face was so cold. And I put it back on, it's warm. So yeah, it is a face protector, not only from the virus, but from this wind. So wear the damn mask. Stay safe and good night.